The new league year officially next Wednesday, which means the start of NFL free agency is upon us. The Bears currently have two tight ends under contract in Trey Burton and Shaheen on their roster. In February, Chicago released veteran Dion Sims and saved $6 million in cap space. The Bears are set to have two tight end free agents in Daniel Brown and Braunecker, who is restricted. In 2018, Burton had a solid season for being Chicago's #1 tight end. He hauled in 54 receptions on 76 targets for 569 yards and 6 touchdowns, putting together a career year after signing that free agent deal. Shaheen, on the other hand, played in just 4 games after suffering a foot and ankle injury last August. When healthy, he had 5 catches and a touchdown, not so great. With 2 impending free agents and only 1 dependable tight end at the moment in Burton, the Bears may have to look at 2019's free agency market for more depth. On the roster, Trey Burton. The Bears decided to move on from Dion Sims, and as it stands, they have 2 tight ends under contract with 1 a restricted free agent. Off-season need: 1 is low, 5 is high. 1. Adding 2 tight ends, whether it's re-signing both Braunecker and Brown or one and adding another in free agency or even the draft, should be the goal. Let's take a look at some free agents the Bears could be targeting to add to their offense at the tight end position. Jesse James, 24. The former 5th-round pick out of Penn State had the best season of his career despite playing behind starter Vance McDonald last year. Last season, as the Steelers know, 2 tight end, James caught 30 of 39 targets for a career-high 423 yards and 2 touchdowns. While his sample size hasn't been as great, he's still young. If the Bears want to add depth to the tight position, James could be a potential suitor. But there could be many other teams looking his way. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, 26. In a 1-year stint with the Jacksonville Jaguars in 2018, Austin Seferian-Jenkins had 11 receptions for 90 yards and 1 touchdown in just 5 games. His season ended earlier than expected due to a core muscle injury. A year before a short-lived season, Seferian-Jenkins had a career year with the New York Jets. He recorded 50 catches for 357 yards and 3 touchdowns. Seferian-Jenkins is a decent blocker, too, although he's more of a receiving tight end. Regardless, ASJ is a solid name to look into this offseason. Tyler Eifert, 28. Eifert is a great receiver, but it seems like he can never stay healthy for a full season. He's struggled with injuries, failing to play a full 16-game season in his career. Eifert played in just 4 games in 2018 and 2 in 2017. In 2015, when healthy, he hauled in 52 receptions and 13 scores. Eifert's not a great blocker but is another pass-catching option. Why this makes sense for the Bears? Their cap space is quite limited this offseason, and for a player of Eifert's nature, he could be signed for super cheap. But would Ryan Pace take that risk? Jeff Heuerman, 26. Heuerman was drafted in the 3rd round in 2015 but has struggled to stay healthy throughout his NFL career. He had his best season in 2018 with 31 catches for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns. He's another good pass-catching option, and he's a decent blocker. The tight end offers solid potential if he can stay healthy, and he's only 26, which makes him more intriguing to add to this offense. Heuerman could come at a cheap price and might be worth monitoring when free agency begins. Jared Cook, 31. Cook is the top tight end on the free agent market, but might be a realistic option for the Bears this season due to cap space. The price for his services would likely be too expensive for Chicago. But, if you insist, the 31-year-old caught 68 passes last season for 896 yards and 6 touchdowns on a weak Oakland Raiders offense. Cook will be 32 this upcoming season, but he looks to build off an impressive 2018 campaign. His price tag will, again, be high, so this probably won't happen. Other options: the pick Jesse James or Jeff Hoyerman. If the Bears look for more tight end depth, these two guys make the most sense. They're both still young and have the potential to build on a successful 2018 season. James is only 24, and he managed to put up solid numbers as the No. 2-day option in Pittsburgh. He would be a nice complement to Burton. And Hoyerman would come at a cheap price for his injury history and small sample size in the league. But he's only 26 and can blocking and receive. Whatever happens depends on how much GM Ryan Pace prioritizes the tight end position this offseason. With limited cap space, Pace could choose to turn to the draft instead rather than free agency to add a tight end to the depth chart.